vehicle for a very long time. After, what did I not do, Natalie? Didn't start it?
Yeah, you didn't.
What did I not do?
You should hit go live.
Oh, my bad. All right. Thank you. All right. So she said, I noticed the neighbor warms up her vehicle from a remote starter some distance away, often for 10 or more minutes each morning. All right. She says, I'm concerned because A, she's polluting the air we breathe unnecessarily, and B, she's wasting gas. Now the neighbor, the nosy neighbor, is concerned. Is there a way to address this with her? What do I do? Stanford, what you recommended earlier?
Well, I was saying that she has a perfect right to like heat up her car in the morning. I mean, I do the same thing at home. So like when I have to be here in the morning, I go outside, heat up the car for a little bit. And I mean, it's you bought the space, like you paid money to have that space for yourself, and you should be able to pretty much do whatever you'd like.
So F the darn neighbor. Forget the neighbor.
Yeah.
Triple F's with 12 fingers to the neighbor. Forget you be nosy. I live among a nosy neighbor. Yeah, one neighbor on the right is mad cool. Other than the left, so nosy.
I think that's really how it always is, though. Like, there's always like that one cool neighbor, and then there's some neighbors that you just don't really.
Don't say hi.
Yeah, you just kind of.
Goes into his pool and stare over there and look over my place. I'm gonna build a fence, a wall of Jericho or something like that. All right, Natalie, what will you do in this instance? 4 kids, starting her minivan outdoors. Let it idle for 15 hours, minutes, whatever. And the neighbor's concerned. Would you walk over and say, hey, look, please, you're polluting the atmosphere, turn it off, what?
I have words in my head that I can't say over the air.
No.
It's not swear words, but it's more of child please.
Yeah.
There are other things in the world that's wrong that should be bothering you than having me warm my car up, and that's going to make me happy.
Right.
When I get in the cold. Who wants to leave their warm house and jump in a cold car and sit on the cold chair to go to your work? This is where I come from. This is the space where I come from. And so it wouldn't sit well if this neighbor was disturbed and tried to have that conversation with me. However, if I had to put myself in the neighbor's shoe, and let's say, you know how they say don't throw stones in glass houses?
Right.
So unless her house is not glass and everything in her life is okay and she can, be environmentally conscious, she is environmentally conscious in all aspects of her life, and this just happens to be one thing that she can, channel her energy towards, then, I just still don't have an answer for that, to be honest. But it's just try to be a little bit more compassionate towards her concerns.
Right.
So whether she gets it or not, that's another problem. I won't stop. Or I would recommend, what would you recommend to somebody like that? It's
Would you just come out, guys, and just say, hey, look, mind your own effing business. It's my house, my yard. I'm paying my taxes, paying my mortgage.
Yeah,
Why don't you just butt out?
I mean, you could do that, but you could compromise. I mean, because the car, heats up relatively quick. It probably takes like a few minutes for the car to like fully warm up if you have it running.
Right.
So,
my mom would like that with you, Stanford, because I don't warm mine. I get it and go and get it. When I go pick her up, I turn the engine off, go in the house, chit-chat a little bit, try to eat something at the mom's house. You know how we kids do when we get by mom's house. And then it's time for her to go to work. She said, well, darn it, could you at least start the car for 5 minutes? I'm like, Mom, gas is a lot of money. She said, I'll pay for it. I'm like, no, I don't want your money, Mom. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because it'll save her money also if she, instead of leaving the car running for 15 minutes, which seems to be the neighbor's concern, because she clearly stated the car is running for a long time.
Right.
So instead of going out there 15 minutes before you leave and turning the car on, how about going out there 5 minutes before, so then the car will still be warm, but then your neighbor doesn't have anything to really complain about.
But it's the nosy neighbor's problem. The prodding question, the subject, she don't care. She just want to know that her 4 kids are warm, and she's warm. Forget what the neighbor says. Natalie, what?
So this is where I was thinking. So if I had to take a step back,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, she is right. When you leave your car running, it's
Who is it? The environmental friendly
right.
person?
It's contributing to the
Polluting?
carbon emissions
Yeah.
that will help the ozone layer
Oh,
to deplete
gosh,
quicker in the
here
grand
we go.
scheme of
Here
things.
we go.
But you know, there are so and this is the wrong thing to say. There are so many other things that's polluting the world and will
That's
cause
right.
us to die quicker. And the one thing that keeps me happy and sets a good ground for me to have a good day and keep smiling and not be cranky when I get to work is a warm car and staying out of the cold as often as possible. So, you know, it's the overall greater good in life is to keep Nats happy. And so I feel it's going to be the same. I agree with you with this woman and her 4 kids. Be happy. Do what you need to do. And hopefully this lady who's a neighbor who seems to be cranky and finds fault with somebody else's life will be able to make peace and find something else to try to fix in the world.
All right, thanks. Steinfeld, we talked to you real quick. What do you got for us in the world of news, my friend? 17 past the hour on the power. 97.5, 860-218-2173.
Thank you, Philip. In a random tweet, the Commander-in-Chief Donald Trump announced on Saturday that he will not be attending this year's White House Correspondents' Dinner in April, a traditional event for press and politicians. The only president in history to miss the event was Nixon in 1972. White House Deputy Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders declined to assure Americans on Sunday that anyone currently covered under the Affordable Care Act would not lose their coverage under President Donald Trump's health care plan. Sanders repeatedly dodged the question, saying Trump had promised to repeal Obamacare and replace it with something that's better. Americans have left the Swedes scratching their heads again. Fox featured a Swedish defense and national security advisor on Thursday discussing the refugee situation on the country, but military and foreign affairs officials said in Sweden had no idea who he was. A man identified as Niels Bild appeared on the O'Reilly Factor to link crime in Sweden to immigrants. We are unable to socially integrate these people, he said. Sweden's defense ministry and its foreign office have since responded saying that they did not know who Bild is. He is not in any way a known quantity in Sweden and has never been part of the Swedish debate, Swedish Defense University professor Robert Egnell said in an email on Saturday. Swedish officials, backed up by statistics, say that crime has been relatively flat for years in the country, even though Sweden accepted record numbers of refugees in 2015. U.S. President Donald Trump's pick for Secretary of the Navy withdrew from consideration on Sunday, the second time the Trump nominee to lead one of the armed services bowed out because of government conflict of interest rules. In a statement on Sunday, Bilden said that after an extensive review process, I have determined that I will not be able to satisfy the Office of Government Ethics requirements without undue disruption and materially adverse divestment of my family's private financial interests. The White House on Monday will send federal departments a budget proposal containing the defense spending increase President Donald Trump promised, financed partly by cuts to the U.S. Department Environmental Protection Agency and other non-defense programs, 2 officials familiar with the proposal said. One of the officials said that Trump's request for the Pentagon included more money for shipbuilding, military aircraft, and establishing a more robust presence in key international waterways and choke points. A second official said the State Department's budget could be cut as much as 30%, which would force a major restructuring of the department and elimination of programs. The officials requested anonymity because the draft budget had not been made public yet. The White House had no immediate comment. Numerous headstones have been knocked over and broken at a Jewish cemetery in Philadelphia in an apparent act of vandalism. The incident comes just days after vandals in Missouri caused widespread damage at a Jewish cemetery in University City, toppling at least 100 headstones. Local authorities are investigating the incident but have said they have no indication that the act was a hate crime. Both acts of vandalism occurred amid upticks in anti-Semitic threats and acts of hate in Philadelphia and across the country this year. In a mysterious Mexican cave, nickname held by scientists, a research team discovered ancient forms of life that may be up to 50,000 years old. The ancient microbes were unearthed inside a series of large crystals in the Naica caves in Chihuahua, northern Mexico. Officials say 9 people were injured, one critically, when an SUV driven by a suspected human smuggler crashed while being chased by a border patrol agents near Lake Morena. Endicott says officials suspect the driver, a U.S. citizen, was smuggling his passengers into the country. All of the passengers were adult Mexican nationals who were in the U.S. illegally. No one in the crash was identified. That is all I have for now. Philip, back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Steinfeld. We'll do a song, come right back at you. 22 past the hour. Natalie, next, we're going to do real estate. And should you or should you not buy a house? That's the question right there. And we'll talk more about the question that should be asked. And you should be asking yourselves when you decide to purchase that very first, most major significant purchase for a lot of people now in your lifetimes.
You got it.
When it comes to purchasing a home. We'll do that next. Stick around. 22 past the hour. 860-218-2173. 860-218-2173. Let's have some backyard party, right? So we're going to be doing a lot of those barbecued outside in the front. Here's Kel. R. Kelly on the power. 97.5. Let's go. Here's a story for you, Steinfeld.
Yeah.
Next break. MSN. Slap on the wrist. You saw that one?
No.
White classmate avoid jail in coat hanger. Assault of disabled black teen. When are we going to live?
Where do you find this stuff? Like, I look at
MSN. Yes, sir. Got to be on MSN.
No, I am.
Huh?
I am, but where do you...
Oh, it's right here. Check it. Maybe it just came up. I don't know if they just put it up. No, this been up there 13 hours ago. The Washington Post original story. But it's in MSN.
What is it called?
Young man got slap on the wrist. In sports this morning, I mean, you already missed it. You see the Baylor women's coach apologize for the comment she made about a punch in the face. Baylor. Basketball. Hey, just out of curiosity, the president, which one, Nixon, was it because he was shot? Why he had to miss the White House correspondent dinner?
I think so. Let me Google it and double check it. That's what I. Why did Nixon miss? Which dinner was it?
White House correspondent dinner.
NPR, that's pretty good.
For what?
NPR News?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was Carter. Alright, the last president to outright skip the event was Jimmy Carter, who did so twice in 1980.
One second. Just can't wait to have those backyard party 25 past the hour on the only Power 97.5. We'll ask Navi for the Gales weather forecast in just a little bit, plus time for the bottom with your birthday shout-outs and more with Natalie in depth as far as real estates are concerned. Call us up. Carnival Trinidad happens right now. Mega Monday, place to be. Carnival Trinidad. If you've never been, you gotta go check it out. Really a great time. And who is the life of the party? You know we are. Every morning from 6 until 10 a.m. we turn it up for you. Good morning, Pound 97.5.
I come to jam, and I don't need no excuse when I join with a band. But I have me to the pass looking right on me hand. The security, they can put me out the section. This year I have me wristband. In trouble cause I reach. And I drink so much you will hear this slurring the speech. Plus I'm causing all kind of bacchanal in the streets. Now the iron start and this rhythm I start to beat. The melody feels so sweet. It have me jamming up and winding up and waving cause inviting the party. It have me jumping up and bumping up and singing nice inviting the party. What they calling me? They call me the life of the party. Hands up, the life of the party. They call me the life of the party. Hands up, what they calling me? They call me the life of the party. Hands up, the life of the party. They call me the life of the party. Hands up, what they calling me? They call me the life of the party. Hands up, the life of the party. They call me the life of the party. Hands up, what they calling me? They call me the life of the party.
Reagan missed it.
The life of the party. They call me the life of the party. Yes, it's me again. I in every fete down in South and in Bola, Spain. Plus I and I'm causing bacchanal on the Spain. We got in the head and they jump in the brain. I ain't not to blame.
Yes, sir.
And which one was the other one that you
Well,
wanted
then
to
to get
get?
riding and bucking up. The Hambo conduct.
You told me the story because I wanted one
And I drink so much you will hear this swearing.
on the website when I first came in. You said on the website.
The guy that shot the kid over the phone. The cell phone. Remember you got a birthday.
No, it was Reagan. A recovering president, Ronald Reagan, did not attend after being shot in an assassination attempt. Next night, Jimmy Carter's parties came up to years. So, yeah, other presidents had this skip too since 1974 and 78.
Ready for the birthdays?
There's not too many today.
You check MSN? I mean, you check Black American Web? The birthdays. Yeah, man. Eh? Yeah, they do a carry. You check it though.
Read the newspaper, check your email, and turn your radio on. It's the best variety of R&B hits and oldies on the new WKND Hits and Oldies.
You're listening to 97.5 FM, The Power.
Get your coffee, read the newspaper, check your email, and turn your radio on. It's the best variety of R&B hits and oldies on the new WKND Hits and Oldies.
You're listening to 97.5 FM, The Power.
You're next.
Stein? Are you ready? Yeah. Al Rodriguez. Al Rodriguez. Al Rodriguez. 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 Al Rodriguez. Rodrigquez, right? Something like that?
Rodriguez?
Rodriguez. Right. South Windsor, 38.
Windsor, 38.
Barbara Williams.
Okay.
Manny Alexandra. Manny. Alexandra, yeah. Erica Spence. Amy Black. That's it. You familiar? Oh.
I don't think so. Liquor. Liquor, I'm saying.
So where do they have birthdays on black and white from left?
Okay. Thank you.
Give it code names or something. Code names. Like B.
Yeah, Steinfeld, tell him. Heads up. Age ain't a factor at all, ain't even important when it comes to relationships. Starting with you, Natalie, age is a factor, concern of yours?
Well, I don't think I can pull an Nicole.
No?
But I can definitely go a couple of years. It runs in the bloodline, so I can go a couple of years above my age.
Okay.
Or below.
All right.
The cougar, the inner cougar speaks to me as well.
Steinfeld, what about you, young man? Would you go, how young would you go? Gotta keep it in legal limits, Steinfeld.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's,
All right.
it's got to be legal.
Please do.
Obviously, so.
Yeah, so how low would you go? How high would you go?
I think it's got to be older.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really.
No, you don't like you don't.
I don't have like I don't have like a limit.
Oh, really,
Oh,
young man?
wow.
Wow.
Probably wouldn't be like a granny or nothing.
Man, yeah, we got you.
And then younger, I think it's got to be within like 3-4 years.
You're junior. All right, cool.
So if someone's, I mean, I'm 23 now, so it probably wouldn't go lower than like 19.
All right. Steinfeld, thanks very much, young man. Powell 97.5. Steinfeld, you got any celebrity local birthday roll call? What do you have for us? Anything? Nothing? You know?
Yes, for celebrity birthdays, there isn't too many today. I have 2 football players, Chandler Jones and Tony Gonzalez. It's their birthday today.
Okay.
27 and 41. And then reality TV star JWoww from Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
She is 31 today. And then we have a few locals also. Al Rodriguez from South Windsor. He is 38 today. Then Valerie Williams, Manny Alexandra, Erica Spence, and Amy Black. Happy birthday to all of you guys.
All
Thank
right.
you for listening as always. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Happy birthday to you all. 36 past here, Natalie. Let's get into some real estate stuff, young woman, and talk a little bit about real estate when it comes to purchasing your home. What should people be expecting? We're discussing, what should they do as far as find out if they, that house they're looking to buy. Do they have the right house? When is a good time to buy a house, Natalie? Can they afford it?
All right.
How do we decide as to affordability? So I like a house that costs $500,000. What are the factors that goes into play in determining whether or not I can afford this $500,000 house?
Yeah. So some of the things I want you to think about is the debt to income ratio, right? How much money do you owe? And it keeps falling down. All right, so debt to income ratio, and you want to also limit your credit card bills, right? You want to be able to comfortably afford it. You don't want to be house poor. So one of the places I'm going to direct you to go to is, there's two places you can go. There's many places you can go, but two places I'm going to tell you is the realtor.com website. And then you're going to be able to, once you go to realtor.com, there's something called an affordability calculator. And you'll be able to punch in a bunch of variables, like, how much money you owe for your revolving accounts. You can estimate what your electricity bill is going to be. Because, if you move from an apartment to a home, some of your bills are going to go up. So use the affordability calculator to help you to figure out if you can own a home or not. You're going to think about things like your income, your monthly debts, how much money do you want to pay for a down payment, or how much you can afford for a down payment. It will help you to consider stuff like that. The type of mortgage you're going to prefer. Of course, I always recommend to try to go for a fixed mortgage. 15-year would be ideal. If you want a lower payment, then you can think about your 30-year mortgage. You want to figure out the top number you can pay for the property, plus what you'll be looking at monthly mortgage payments with insurance and taxes as well, because that's something that we will forget, and that the calculator will be able to remind you have to factor in taxes and insurance as well. That's just going to bump the mortgage payments up a bit.
All right, Natalie, talking real estate with her as always on a Monday. Should I or should you not? Should you or should you not buy a house? Is the question, and she's explaining to us, discussing the things that we should look forward to, and finding out exactly should you or should you not buy that house. Natalie, as far as renting versus buying, that comes up oftentimes, I'd imagine. A person makes enough money, they're qualified with income to debt ratio, all those good things are in play. They have the perfect credit score, work a job for a long time, got some money stashed in the bank account. But should they be renters or should they be buyers, Natalie? What do you say here?
All right, so there's this, again, a rent versus buy calculator that's also on rent.com. And you can also go to ravis.com, and you'll be able to access a bunch of the calculators as well. And it will help you to answer this question. So for the Hartford area, the Middletown, Connecticut, Windsor, it's still very much a buyer's market. What does that mean? You've got tons and tons of houses still available for you to choose from. So while you're looking for those houses, you need to also figure out where you're gonna live, and the area, the affordability. You can crunch the numbers in the rent versus buy calculator. You'll enter the current rent you're paying, basically, or what you could pay for a mortgage in the zip code you live in, and that's what this calculator does. And then what you'll get is a comparison of the cost of buying a home versus the cost of renting in your area, which is very helpful. You can do it yourself if you're savvy, but if you can't, this calculator will help you to punch the variables in, the numbers in, and it will spit out, okay, it's going to be probably better if you rent versus better if you buy.
Because Natalie, it's just to me thinking about the process, and as you're talking about it, it's okay, for example, Stanford, if you can afford to pay for the mortgage. But what if that's your cutoff point right there? You can afford the mortgage, come summertime, you got to talk about the lawn, cutting the lawn, maintaining the outside, the driveway, and even the winter months. Yeah. If you're just barely making, break even as far as taking care of those main bills, and you can't do the other stuff, something got broke in the house, what do you do then? Right. So really, renting may just be the best option for you.
I totally agree. So the mistake you don't want to make, and the mistake I don't want just my buyers to make, is to get into a home and you become house poor.
Right.
You're going to be totally miserable trying to dig yourself out of this position you put yourself in, where you're heavily weighted on paying for that house, house and its expenses. So just be very mindful of that. Use the rent versus buy calculator. Google it. I just gave you realtor.com as a place where it has the calculators for you, and just read up on it or give me a call, and I can direct you and help you to figure out if you're a good candidate to buy.
What's your best call number, Nat?
Oh, you give me a call at 844-876-9375.
All right, buying a house or staying put renting. Which is best for you? That's what we're discussing this morning. More with Natalie here on the all-new Power 97.5. You know how it goes the morning, 6 until 10 a.m. Hey, great having you on 860-218-2173. In studio, want to talk to Natalie. 860-218-2173. Want to send a nice hello, hi, greetings to someone. Call us. We'll put it on for you. We're discussing idle vehicle that parks outside for 15 minutes or more. Turns out the neighbor is mad as can be. The fact that their concern is what, Natalie? What is their main concern? The pollution of the atmosphere here?
No, if I had to try to put myself in the shoe of the neighbor, she's very concerned about each individual's input to the detriment of the planet Earth. So I would try to respect that concern. However, short of that respect, it's really, child, please, get a life. So it's one of those thin lines where I would be happier to keep myself warm and this continuous smiles that I'll have throughout the day because I'm not miserable in a cold car going to work.
Right.
Is going to far outweigh my small contribution in that respect to the detriment of the planet.
44 past the hour. Thanks, Natalie. Environmentally friendly, environmentally focused. We have it for you later on the big broadcast. You don't know it, but we're going to tell you what it is. Yes, these are 6 hair washing mistakes you didn't realize that you are making. We'll tell you what those are in just a little bit here on the all-new Power 97.5. Today's trivia question, no take it so far. What was the very first governing document of the Plymouth colony signed aboard ship on November 11th, 1620? Looking for the answer, call us up, 860-218-2173, 860-218-2173. That's the inside number where you and us can always get it on. And we say, let's get it on. Here's Prince and Purple Rain on the Power 97.5. Good morning to you. Perfect. You got a list of Oscar winners, right? Oscar winners for entertainment.
Oh yeah, Viola, right? Number 3.
Gotta get that.
First person to win the 3.
I have that.
All right, please. Thank you, sir.
That was the only thing that was trending I saw. I didn't see anything much. Other than
Also, court closes Robin Thicke restraining order. That's gonna be in the news too. You can get some other stories on Black America Web. It'll give you like a more compact.
Yeah. I hate seeing Trump's ugly face everywhere. Like constantly, you know what I'm saying?
He's dominating the media, man.
Wow.
That came from out of nowhere, huh?
I know because I just like saw his dumb face again like, on the webpage. He's just looking like a horn.
Is he 10? Or does he naturally look like that?
They call him orange. That's what they want to call him, orange.
Spray tan.
He's spray tan. I really don't follow the guy that much, so I honestly just don't know.
Well, he has to. Like, he looks like that. There's no way like a white person hands like that naturally.
Makes sense. Hey, Facebook, please don't kick me off, all right? I'm at a commercial station. We got okay rights to do these songs.
You're listening to 97.5 FM, The Power.
Heads up. Natalie, just a little bit. We'll talk more real estate on The Power in the Morning, 97.5. Good morning. I'm having bun and cheese for breakfast. Bun and cheese for breakfast. The Pound 97.5 classic great music. Neighbors hates Highland minivan. Mr. Topic we're discussing this morning. What's your take with Natalie? Yes, in real estate. You know how it goes down in the morning. 6 until 10 a.m. right here on the All New Power 97.5. Back in a few minutes. Before we go, just want to take the time to say good morning to Eddie Jordan, legendary radio personality in the greater Hartford area. Eddie, hi. How are you, young man?
Morning, Eddie.
Eddie's a good man. Very wonderful person. Taught me a lot back in the day about commercial radio. So Duncan, this very soft, nice going guy. Very laid back gentleman. The consummate Eddie Jordan. Beautiful good morning. Stick around. Back in a few on the Power 97.5.
I really have a passion for the image of women of color.
So management that I'm doing a good job this morning.
When you are doing Broadway,
Huh?
you are so
Yeah.
talented.
Eddie
Because you can
Jordan,
usually
legendary guy.
act, sing, dance, and write.
So, do you think that
When
color
you're
of
making
skin still
movies,
plays a role in
you
the
are
courtrooms throughout America
Hollywood
today?
royalty.
That's a good one. Good question. You did
With this sentence has been different if the roles were
Hi there,
switched.
this is Cheryl.
Hold on. Turn this down so I can hear this.
Welcome to another 60 Minutes with me, your diva, divinely inspired, victoriously alive. Radio, real talk on Viva Talk
John
Radio.
R.K. Howard, the man who pleaded guilty to assaulting a black man to his evil husband student with a coat hanger in the Idaho locker room, walked out of court with his Friday with his sentence, no jail time. And then at the end of the article I have, do you think that color of skin still plays a role in the courtrooms throughout America today? And would this sentence have been different if the roles were switched? And do you think that's good?
This Adam's worth in black. If the role was a black person.
Well, in general, if skin color plays a role. That's a good question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meet Davis.
Hi.
Davis is from Pollock,
Alright,
South
yeah,
Dakota.
yeah.
We took Davis from Pollock
Good.
to fish for Pollock
I mean,
in Alaska.
Sure not
The same
necessarily
wild-caught
black
pollock and
versus
McDonald's
white.
filet-o-fish sandwich.
You know,
There were boats,
whatever
nets,
race you are,
and
whatever
fish, and some
ethnicity,
delicious filet-o-fish sandwiches. So you
background.
could say Davis is
Oh,
one
I have an
lucky
even
guy.
better
Good
one. I
one.
just came
Thanks,
up with the
Davis.
perfect
Mix
one.
and match any two
Do you think
filet-fish
that racial
sandwiches or medium
bias
fries for just $4 on McDonald's Big Pick 2 menu.
Still plays
Prices
a
and
role in
participation may
it?
vary.
Yeah.
Limited time offer. Price of a single item posted on menu board.
McCafe presents the 3 stages of Shamrock Chocolate
Shea
Madness.
colors does do a little bit.
Astonishment. The moment you realize chocolatey awesomeness has been added to the cool mint of Shamrock Shake. Bewilderment. The inability to choose between 5 delicious Shamrock Chocolate Madness beverages. Disillusionment. Knowing you only have a short time to try them all. It's chocolatey. It's minty. It's Shamrock Chocolate Madness. Only at participating McDonald's for a limited time. Get your coffee, read the newspaper, check your email, and turn your radio on. It's the best variety of R&B hits and oldies on the new WKND Hits and Oldies.
You're listening to 97.5 FM. The Power.
Which picture should I use? That one?
Mm-hmm. Or
That one.
right.
This one?
Oh, that's him?
I would beat the shit out of that guy.
You're so violent.
Seriously though. Are you kidding?
But you can get away with it.
Assaulting a mentally challenged person, like that's messed up. I wish they gave him jail time so then he would have gotten assaulted in jail.
The unfortunate thing is it unfortunate? I don't even know how I should put it. Like, you know, where you do go to jail, you're gonna get your ass chewed out. And probably a literal sense as well, you know, because you made the wrong choice of, yeah. People always act out of anger, which makes them do dumb stuff, basically.
I agree.
But I can understand acting out of anger. not excusable, but
It's time for pay close attention to the Oscars. Oscars Not So White, Moonlight wins Best Picture after its wrong announcement.
I have that.
Okay, cool.
I got one up on the site. Now I just gotta do the video one.
This is a good one. At the Oscars, Warren Beatty. I think he has something to do with the Oscars. Say he paused so long before the name was read because the envelope reads Emma Stone.
Yeah, I have that.
You know what I mean by it? You get the picture story, right? Emma Stone, it was heavy. So he paused. You know what I mean? Emma Stone, you get it? Yeah. I gotta see that movie. I haven't seen it yet.
which one?
Huh?
Which one? Oh, the La La Land?
Mm-hmm. And Moonlight.
And Moonlight?
Moonlight is the one I need to see.
Actually, the last time I saw a movie, whoo,
You need to get the Fire Stick.
going to, well, I mean, it's nice to go into the theaters, eat the popcorn and the expensive hot dogs. No, just to say I seen the movie. Because for that, I'm using all the streaming
Manchester
sites.
by the Sea. Yeah, what's his name? Casey Affleck, Ben Affleck's brother won over Denzel. Wow. Best actor.
Jesus, there's so many winners.
Huh?
There's so many winners.
Oh, for the Oscars?
Yeah.
So you do the top ones. Best picture, best actor, best director, best movie. That kind of key, you know? I'll come over there and look at them. Alright, now, do the ID again. Come back
ready?
in. Yeah. Hold on. Let's celebrate. You and I.
Alright, so when we go in, we're
I'm gonna do a
take it
drop
from
off.
yeah, when we go in, we're gonna just review the top two. And then I'll go in, and then you ask the third one.
You're listening to WKND, 1480 AM, Windsor, Hartford. W248CR, 97.5 FM, Windsor.
My GM.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Remember.
I know that.
Let's see who's joining. Nikisha Dennis. Hi, thank you for tuning in. It's taking a minute, right? Hey, Nikki. We are looking.
Hello,
at...
Nikki!
Yeah, let's see. Right there. Hold it down.
Here we go.
All right, we're gonna get back in. So let's
Heads
do
up.
the rest.
It's you and I can be together in the mornings from 6 until 10 a.m. That's what we do. The all new Power 97.5. Hey, glad to have you on with us. Facebook friends, good morning to you. 5 past the hour on the all new Power 97.5. Hartford's only choice when it comes to R&B hits, classics, the variety, the soca, the reggae, and we have, internationally speaking, Steinfeld. In less than 6 more minutes with your news, ladies and gentlemen. But first, Natalie does real estate on a day like this. Natalie, we're talking about first-time buying home buyers. What should they be looking for in a house?
Right.
When should they start buying? What's important? Are they of the caliber of people who should just stay put and just rent? Forget about ownership, Natalie. Just go renting. What do you say?
So yeah, it's the first question one should ask themselves.
I feel for a red snapper for breakfast right now. I'm sorry. Well steamed escabeche, or make it steamed.
With some
okra.
callaloo in there.
Okra, callaloo all stuffed in.
Scotch bonnet pepper.
Yes, guys, that's where my head just went a while ago. I'm thinking of that about that.
And some green bananas on the side.
Green bananas on the side, Natalie. You know how you figure, Mom? You're reading my mind.
Just
Seinfeld,
took me there.
you go there. Really hot Scotch bonnets, peppers, steamed fish, based on the.
I don't think he knows about it.
Well, no, he doesn't. But he knows a little bit about Jamaican food. So Steinfeld, based on what you told me off the air earlier, that happened to you, I think you're deserving of a red snapper. It gives you that umph. You know what I mean? Yes.
I got you.
Yes, young man. It gives you that
Is
umph.
it the snapper or is it the okra?
The okra. Yes. Plenty of okra in your red snapper, Steinfeld.
Right. You know,
And it's like slimy, but it's good.
I'm not really a fan.
It's very, very much good for you, young man. It builds that those counts that you need so much.
I don't know if I would be too much of a fan of that, honestly.
Believe me, let me tell you, just take it from an old geezer like me. It's a good thing. All right, let's start real estate while I forget I drifted off over into having breakfast as red snapper this morning. All right, so Natalie, buying a house versus renting, what do you recommend here for the most part?
So, so backing up, make sure you ask yourself the question, not just ask it, but ask it and take action when you ask this question. Can you afford a home?
Okay.
And one of the recommendations, go to, a site that I refer a lot of folks to, realtor.com. You can go to williamrevis.com, and we have calculators. There's one that's called an affordability calculator, home affordability calculator. And that's going to tell you that you can put your monthly debts in, you can plug in your income, how much you're going to think you want to pay for a down payment. It's going to help you factor in things like your insurance and your taxes, and it's going to tell you how much you can afford for a home. The other thing that I want you guys to think about is it a good time? Should you keep renting, or should you keep or should you consider buying should you buy?
Right.
And there's a calculator for that as well, and it's also on realtor.com.
Why not put all these on your personality
I will
site
I will
versus
eventually,
all right.
Putting up my personal site.
Yeah,
it's in the works.
We have the guy, the web guy already have him.
We're gonna hook it up so that folks can go directly to the site
versus going someplace else.
Some of my articles and all of that fun jazzy stuff. Well, it's coming. It's coming.
Or go to the morning show site.
I'm a slacker, right? And I'm gonna go to the morning show site.
Yeah.
And also make sure the articles are published there as well, so that you can go and reference it. And we're gonna put it on Facebook and so you guys can read it as well.
There you
go.
So
there's gonna be lots of resources for you to get this information. But there is a rent versus buy calculator, and what it basically does is you'll enter the current rent you're paying in the zip code that you want to live in, and then you'll get a comparison of the cost of buying a home.
Anti-tack.
So last week it was a rodent. Did you catch the rodent that was in the roof?
Actually, turns up, Natalie, it was a bird.
A bird.
It was a little bird
that you guys were scared of.
Came through someplace. Yes, I got spooked. We all got spooked. Little critter crawl inside of space above your head, Natalie, trying to do a show. Staying focused, of course. But then Marilyn next door, she was out of her wits' ends. Oh my lord! I could see she changed color nats.
Wow.
And Nell, yeah, I'm gonna put him out there. He was scared too.
No,
Oh, Nelson was scared. Nelson,
You know
I'm
what?
like
I
Nelson.
give him flack about
I'm
this,
like
right?
Nelson, just do a shot of it, man.
You guys think
By
it
then I
was
was
a
out.
squirrel,
We thought skunk, all sort of
snake.
thing,
It was-
yeah.
I was cracking up at work, I gotta say.
Very much so.
On
But
the ride to work.
turned out it was all there was to it. A little birdie got in here. When they finally took the bird out, the bird was hydrated.
Dehydrated?
Dehydrated. Thank you very much.
Poor thing. I feel
Dehydrated, they throw the bird outside and maybe the bird died. I don't know. Who kills the bird?
No, I'm sad now.
But you stop sounding like Marilyn for a minute. She wanted to save the bird. She has a lot of animals. She don't like cruelty to animals at all.
Yeah, you guys should have given him some water, taken him to the vet or something so that they could, you know.
Moving right along, Natalie. What we
Alright,
doing
back
here?
to selling houses.
I know,
So,
guys, you're going to say Philip hates animals. No. Not inside the house.
I'm not gonna. Yeah, let's keep going.
No animals in the house.
Yeah.
Why animals are in the house?
I mean, selling houses. Let's think about purchasing a home. All right. So, how long can you stay put? Is the other question that I want you to think about, right?
Staying put as in what? What do you mean by staying put? Just wait before making that purchase, making that move, putting the trigger here?
Well, no. When you purchase the home, you have to ask yourself, how long will I be able to stay in the home?
Oh.
The longer you live in the home, it makes sense.
Economically
it's
better?
smarter to buy. And why? Why? Right?
Why is that?
Why would I say this? Well, so renting might be more sense if you go shorter than, I say, there's people that say 5 years. I tend to say 7 years. And here's why. When you buy a home, right, you'll be paying closing costs that can total thousands of dollars. I'm thinking $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 depending on where you're purchasing the home, right, and how much you're purchasing it for. Plus, most of the early parts of your mortgage payment is going towards your interest, right, rather than chunking down the principal.
Right.
So the longer you're staying in the home is when you're going to be able to start building up equity. Now, unless you decide that you're going to be able to be one of those people that do double payments or pay extra to build up equity in the home, then that's something to consider because if you plan on moving before the 5-year time frame, the likelihood of recouping costs the closing cost or the I'm going to call it your household overhead, how much it costs you to pay to buy the house, you're just not going to recoup those costs basically.
First 5 years, basically, you say you're paying off just the interest on the note.
Well, no. So let's say you get a 15-year
mortgage.
Yeah. So it could go up. You're paying it up until maybe half of it, right?
Almost half. Wow.
A good chunk. So as the time goes on, right, you're paying more interest until you hit that magic sweet spot, and then you'll start paying less interest and more principal in the last few years of the home. So you're paying the person that gave you the money to afford this home, right, first, and then you pay yourself. And so if you got to think about, all right, I'm gonna stay in less than 5 years. That means, okay, I'm gonna do double payments. It's a way I'm thinking about saving. The market is coming back. You can see it in the area. If you look at Hartford area, there's a lot of companies that's hiring now and attracting younger families. So we're going for another growth cycle, is what I would like to say, for a lot of the areas. And so just think about it. If you're planning on moving, these are some of the things that you need to consider.
All right. Retirement savings. All right, is it on track as far as the person? How does it relates to the topic as far as buying a house, Natalie?
All right. So for I just mentioned there's a lot of younger people moving in, right? So sometimes retirement might seem like a long way off, but it's still crucial to start thinking about saving away into something called your 401k plan. There's a lot of employers that's gonna offer something called a 401k plan, and you're gonna hear Chris, right, Chris or Moneyman Coles.
Yep.
On Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
Right. He's gonna tell you 401k is important, save, and especially if your company is matching, you're gonna get like sometimes a 4%, a 6%, a 3% match of the amount that you save. Now it's some retirement plans, IRA can be withdrawn for a first-time home purchase. That's why this is important, provided you meet certain requirements. So one of the requirements is, for example, you withdraw less than $100,000, and the account has to be open for at least 5 years. And then the other one is, you just need to know that there's different 401ks, for example, and you can be penalized with excise tax if you do any cash withdrawals from your 401k. And that's why it's important you talk to your money guy, your financial advisor, to make sure that if you're saving in your 401k and you're planning on withdrawing that money or taking a loan on it, that you talk to him and they have them align with them properly, or do your research to make sure that you're not going to get penalized. So for me personally, I would, if I had to save for a house again, I'm going to try to put that money in my Roth IRA, right? Which is, you pay the taxes now, and if there's an emergency, then I'll be able to withdraw that money without having a penalty. Or if I want to pay for the down payment of my home, then I'm going to take that, thinking about saving my Roth. That's what a lot of people do, because it's difficult, and I respect that it's difficult to save you for your retirement, and then have a nice nest egg that you can save up for emergencies. 6 to 8 months is what the goal is, to save up for emergencies, and then you got to save up for a down payment at the same time. So what a lot of people are doing is they're saving their money in a Roth IRA, so you're saving towards your retirement at the same time, and with the option of using that as a fallback in case of emergencies, or you want to purchase that first home and use some of that money for a down payment.
The Power 97.5, we're talking to Neighbour here as far as real estate matters are concerned. 17 past the hour. We'll get back into a song. We'll come back more with Natalie here. You know how it goes down. Weekday mornings, 6 until 10 a.m. Great having you on with us. Steinfeld does have some news for us. We'll get the wrap up, the roundup of today's news stories from Sir Steinfeld. It all happens next on the all-new Power 97.5, Hartford's #1 choice. R&B hits, all the classics. And yes, you know what it is. Great music. Today's R&B, yes, 97.5. Good morning, everyone. Mr. Bish, good morning, young man.